And
Um, all right. Welcome. We are doing a kingdom analysis exercise similar to my um, previous one, and to the we're doing it in the style of a video just recorded by Marcus and RTT, where they jointly discuss some random kingdoms from the beginning and then play out the first less than or equal to 10 turns. But before starting, the main point of this, I think, is for the two of us to discuss what we predict
yeah,
is the
so
right plan.
I'm xyrix. I have various strong opinions about Dominion, so this should be fun. Let's
Um,
see here.
do you want to go first? What you think?
So there's a lot going on here. You have a nice trashing with the amulet, uh, good village in Lost City, some payload with the wild hunts and the fool's golds.
You think you would play with
Question
Fool's
is, I
Gold?
think, mostly whether you want to open with the puka or not.
Yeah. What is your opening hand?
I have a five,
Five
five
dollars.
four. Yeah,
Yeah.
5-4.
Yeah. So I have the three six, I guess, which is means I can open like double amulet without taking a curse. I don't think it's that scary to take a curse. I think you actually could play with Puka here, but I'm not sure if you do or not. The trashing is really good. You're gonna, I mean, uh, like you could play if you could play Lost City Puka and then draw up with Forge. Forge is going to be and play big Forge at the right time. You could get your deck under control really quick. I don't know.
Yeah, really, the trying to get to forge with the puka seems pretty tempting. Although once you get a puka trash off, I'm not sure what your odds are exactly to hit 7, even if you're willing to try to play the cursed gold. Um,
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you play with Puka. It's interesting. I usually either open Puka or don't get it at all. But you could also think about like waiting a little bit to get one. Um,
I mean, if you wait too much, obviously the wild hunt is
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, it's pretty clear what kind of deck you want. You want a big engine where you play a lot of wild hunts every turn.
mm-hmm.
Um, your buy comes from Nomad Camp. I don't know how much Fool's Gold happens, but I guess probably it's a like compact little piece of payload if you're reliable
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, you could use conspirator instead for money.
Yeah, I would probably be more tempted to use Conspirator because I'm just afraid of having too many stop cards here, but maybe that's I don't know. I mean, the draw is really good with Lost City and Wild Hunt. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think I would go for fool's gold if I wind up stuck in some hands where I don't um, four, and I would prefer to buy a fool's gold over a silver for sure here.
yeah, you want to play Militia every turn for sure.
Definitely.
Um,
Um, I don't know whether that means that you want to open militia necessarily, but
so for me, I think my split is going to with the able to do 3/3 without taking a curse. I probably would just do double amulet. It tends to be a pretty strong open for doing a ton of trashing quickly.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so
yeah. I feel like the 5-4 not really as strong here.
yeah, so you definitely think about opening Puka. Um,
Yeah, I think I'd go for it here just because
so you have which one's first, the 5 or the 4?
the 5. Yeah,
Yeah, so you can't even like think about doing a nomad camp. Although I mean, I'm pretty skeptical of nomad camp opens. Um,
yeah. It's not really something that I ever do. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and take the puka here. We'll see how that goes.
okay, I think that's nice to see that. Yeah, the cursed gold really mucks with traditional opening split theory, and
Yeah,
can
it's
create
not
some
quite clear.
can sort of force you into a non-mirror that you wouldn't you might not have wanted to do.
Hmm. I think probably just gonna sell it for the forge here and take a silver.
Mm-hmm. I could have seen that being an amulet, but I mean, it's sort of like your second shuffle could be really happy or really sad with amulet puka.
Yeah, pretty much. So I hit seven, so I'll take the forge.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, so I've got three here. Um, Maybe I will take a silver and see if that helps me hit forge, because I kind of think that I'm not going to this shuffle. Yeah, my amulets collide, not the greatest thing, but that's, I mean,
Yeah, that's how it goes, especially turn four. Not exactly what you want to see, but
yeah.
um, yeah. So I draw my forge dead, which is a little sad, but probably predictable.
Yeah.
Probably going to go ahead and.
You have cursed gold in hand. Oh, so I guess I trash here, and uh, I have a copper and a cursed gold to spend. I'd like to continue to not take curses at this point, and I don't think that any of the fours or threes and fours are things that I need that badly. Um, well, that helps. So it's something. Yeah, the
Yeah,
spectator view would.
I'm a nice
Well,
guy, you know.
yeah. I was thinking in a recent soothsayer game that I was watching. Maybe that was in the RTT thing. Now I can't remember. Um, there's not always clear. I don't know that I want another silver. How many silvers do I have? I got one on turn three.
One.
One. Okay. Two. I think two is okay. Yeah. Now I can get forge. So there's Lost City, Soothsayer, and Council Room. They all give your opponent a card, and um, that's something that, like, in a normal setting when you don't know what's in your opponent's hand, you don't know how much of a benefit that is, and you feel it when it happens to you. But I mean, you just, I don't know how many times it's happened to me where I've just been ecstatic because of what card I drew when somebody bought a Lost City. I mean, Lost City is still a fantastic card, but it's you got to think about it.
In my opinion is usually that it's you want to be buying your Lost Cities either early when they're probably going to draw a bad card, or late when they're probably going to draw their deck anyways.
So my hand here is Forge, Cursed Gold, Copper, Copper, Curse. And I guess if I gain a silver with this amulet, maybe I can afford to get rid of my Cursed Gold and take a four.
Yeah, that's something you want to do at this point.
So should this be? I mean, I'm super over terminal if I take a militia, and I mean, I can't even activate a conspirator, but then, like, I just need one more Lost City, and I'm starting to roll there. So I'll take a conspirator for the moment. This is sort of a slowly getting there, pretty slow. We're almost to the 10 turns. So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think our decks are just both quite bad, just in completely different ways.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I should definitely use this for the coin so that I can take another Lost City. Yeah, So you could be watching this thinking, wouldn't a big money thing with Fool's Gold be doing pretty well by now? and and why aren't you doing that? And I think the reason is that um, uh, I mean, this is the kind of thing that I
I
used
don't
to
think
think
you
a
can
lot.
really.
But the engine is going to catch up with Wild Hunt and is going to start playing Militia every turn, which is just brutal. Um,
Yeah,
for
I would never really think about doing a money thing here. I mean, there's
Yeah, I
nothing.
know. I just think that some people that are watching could think about that. I don't know. Um,
I mean, what do you have? You have amulet money with fool's golds, I guess. I mean, that doesn't sound terrible, but I'm not buying it either.
um, yeah. So I have a forge and 3 or 4 cards in my hand that all cost 3. So I can buy, or I can, I can gain a gold, a platinum, or something that costs 12. Um, uh,
Yeah, I mean, I
it
took a
doesn't seem
gold. I
like it.
wasn't really happy about it, but it had to happen, I guess.
Yeah, I think taking a gold here. Um, maybe I should have gotten rid of an amulet instead of a um. What's it? A silver. Well, we're past 10 turns. I think we're both close to getting our decks under control. You're probably a little bit ahead of me on
Yeah,
that. Puka seems like it's working out all right.
I do like this nice pivot I did of getting rid of my fool's gold. Um, it was a bad fool's gold.
Yeah, you should never be afraid to admit that something you bought was not a good idea and get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean that seems like a good description of what I'm doing here.
So maybe stop here, but yeah. So I needed a nomad camp. Maybe the conspirator even should have been a nomad camp. So in anticipation of my need for plus buy, because now I have, um, yeah, and I can't even gain and play a nomad camp with forge because nothing costs the right amount. Oh, I guess so. Like if I didn't play that conspirator, yeah. So that's what I do here.
You can do like
I
a
need I
time
want the
travel
nomad
and
camp
do.
now. Uh, and then just get some coin right now for this, and then I can get a wild hunt in my militia. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we see where this is going. You want to look at another board?
Yeah, I mean it seems like we're both pretty much in the same place here. So
Okay.
I think the lesson there is that just you have to be willing to be flexible when you have Chris Gold board.
Yeah. Yeah. I think knowing how to play with cursed gold is not very easy. Okay. Got a delve board and a rebuild board. So rebuild is one of these cards that dominates the game sometimes, and sometimes the engine is the engine or the attacks are too fast for rebuild, or
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's necessarily about attack so much. Um,
yeah. Well,
because a lot of
certain.
times
I guess I'm
rebuilds just kind of
particularly thinking
weird,
of things that trash duchies and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would not, you know, be immediately tempted to go for rebuild on this board. Although maybe you can do some sort of silver rush type of thing.
Yeah, because there's
like
no extra. The only extra buy comes from Bard 1/12 of the time.
Yeah.
And
you have the dismantle.
yeah, I mean
Stuff.
the catapult attack is pretty good for the engine. I think that I would like build up a little bit and trash with junk dealer, and then start doing rebuild stuff. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point maybe you can just buy provinces instead, but it probably depends.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it kind of depends on, so. Yeah, the engine mirror here is one thing, and someone trying to do a like turbo rebuild thing. I mean, Delve is definitely a rebuild enabler. Because silver does help you hit 5, and in rebuild, I mean that sort of turbo rebuild thing. The way I think of it, you have 2 rebuilds, and all your other 5s are duchies, basically. The sort of classic thing.
Yeah.
And if you just sort of do that without building up at least a little bit, you can get into trouble. But Delve sure does seem to help that. Catapult is another thing that, I mean, I wouldn't ignore catapult here.
I mean, I still think you want to get thin here.
Yeah, I do too.
Maybe after that you start playing with dismantle to gain rebuilds and duchies and stuff, but I can't see the silver flood beating that. So with that in mind, I'm gonna open with.
Yeah. So if you're building an engine, are you going to play with Oracle? I mean, it's interesting if you. I think what you should. So you are not interested in playing with rebuild that much here. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, I am, but I want to thin first, and then maybe I do if it, or maybe I just buy provinces depending on the game stage.
So I'm gonna do something that is probably not gonna be very good, which is I'm gonna like go for like a much more single-minded rebuild strategy, like less focused on thinning. I'm gonna just want to see how that non-mirror goes. Maybe that would be educational.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and be educated here. I'm gonna open.
So I don't think that what I'm doing is actually going to be better here, but yeah. So I'm going to open with double delve. I think that the catapult attack is going to hurt me.
See, I might take the guide here, but you seem to be signaling that you don't want a catapult, so I'm going to take a catapult.
So double catapult is a fun thing to do sometimes. I think guide is a good card for rebuild, so I would take guide here. And guide is, yeah, I mean, so guide is, I guess, it's a defense. So see here already, you just killed my $5 hand.
It's very sad for you.
It's okay, I can just delve some more. Actually, Bard's okay. I'm not buying one, but it's okay. I believe when I was thinking of anagrams of Dan Brooks, one of the ones they came up with was Bard's okay, no?
You know, that's pretty contentious, really.
So now I can still hit 5, and I will take a rebuild and see how this goes. I just sort of want to do this because I think, rebuild has this reputation that it's just sort of like, oh, at least it did, that it sort of like dominates everything, which it doesn't. A good engine is usually better. There are some limitations for this engine, most notably the lack of plus buy. I'll take a Bard. Why not? And
it's a good card, yeah.
Yeah, you killed my 5 again. See, that's the catapult is pretty good against this thing. Oh, but I can guide here, right? Yeah, there we go. And I don't have 5 here either, but I want to play this rebuild. And I'll delve some more. So all this delving is going to make me see my rebuilds less often. That's something about it.
You only have one rebuild right now, which is
Yes.
great.
Dismantle. So you really want to.
Should have been a lost city, but you know.
So I just named Duchy because I didn't want to turn my only duchy into a province. I wanted to I think that basically in rebuild games, you want to kill that duchy pile.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I just bought my second rebuild, but so I tend to if you can make yourself end up with what am I trying to say? If you can get a duchy instead of a province, even though duchy to province is more points, like you're getting all of that anyway. That's the way I feel about it. So I have 2 rebuilds, and now I'm buying a duchy. This is the way I approach rebuild. I don't know if it's right. If I'm
No, I mean I appreciate I approach it in the exact same way as you. I want to get to a point where I'm cursing you with some of these silvers, so
Yeah.
That sounds like a nice idea.
This could be a delve or an estate. I think estate is okay considering you're not doing any of this stuff here. Yeah, and you can't see my hands, but the discard attack really does hurt this strategy. Without catapult being on the board, I would have probably 2 more duchies in my deck right now, and a little bit less silver. So I don't know. Maybe that makes it sound like my deck would be worse. I'm just gonna call a guide here anyway. And we're past turn 10. I think it's kind of worth playing a little bit more
I'm not really sure
to see if this engine is catching up to the rebuild thing.
I am somewhat unconvinced so far, but you never know.
I think that these kind of tests of pure rebuild stuff are pretty important, I think, for the future of humanity.
But at some point, I hope to play a rebuild cage match against Anders. We shall see part of that.
So I was really excited to get to play my Bard for the first time, but since I don't have 5 here or a rebuild in hand, I'm gonna call a guide. And this could be a 3rd rebuild. I'm not really keeping.
Yeah, I think if you're not.
So there's 2 duchies in the trash. You don't have any duchies, so that means I have still 2 duchies and a couple of estates in my deck. So yeah, probably a 3rd rebuild is the play there. Yeah, I look forward to watching that rebuild cage match. So this is obviously, yeah. Don't like that. So I just had to discard a silver and a guide. Playing the guide to draw a card, I probably would have been able to buy duchy, but I've got 2 rebuilds in hand, so. So you're taking 1 duchy there. Okay. At the bottom of this shuffle, no, I'm just going to take an estate. I just want to get as many points. I could have been a delve there, maybe. Yeah, the hand size thing hurts because you know, guide is like a counter to that, but it's not like as much of a counter as cursed village or something, because if you've got a rebuild in hand, you don't want to call that guide. Okay, so there's that last duchy, and I do think I still have estates in my deck, and that's not the ideal place to be. But
however, you are very solidly ahead at this point.
Yeah, I think yeah, the points here, there's just not enough points for you to come back. So that's interesting. Anyway, yeah. So we discussed the rebuild thing, but it was a little bit hard to see how it was going to go. So educational, maybe.
Yeah, I think ultimately the guides are good enough. That helps to rebuild the guides and the delves.
Yeah. Okay. Board number 3. And spectators can comment if they have comments. Well,
this is board.
Gazbag's going to say something about how I have had a couple times where I ignored ball accidentally. Ball is a really power card for gaining. Yeah.
That's true.
That's a good comment about 2 cards. Gazbag's comment about Scavenger being better than Bard for the rebuild thing is surely true. The Scavenger is a really good card, actually, that sometimes I just sort of overlook it. But it was really, actually, the game 1 of my most recent league match video against Jimmy, Scavenger was like a really key card in that game. Totally different board, but anyway. Wow.
Yeah, that's true. I should have got more curses out, but it just So it's kind of bad to trash the silver from your own hand too. That is it's a little bit unpleasant.
So Ambassador is probably unskippable. This kingdom is just.
I was thinking about skipping it.
You really? Well, the trashing is really good.
I mean, it's a thing that I've got to work a few times, which is that you skip Ambassador, you play with the Shepherd.
With the Shepherd?
Your opponent sends you a lot of estates.
Yeah.
You're kind of happy with that.
Yeah, but you don't want copper. I mean, yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, you can forge copper. You can do the sauna thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's like, wow, so like the number of cards on this board that on any given kingdom can dominate the kingdom is large. Sonavanto, Ambassador, Shepherd sometimes, Familiar, Treasure Trove.
There's Forge, which is sometimes a way to skip Ambassador if there's a way to draw a lot, which there is in Shepherd.
Also Sonavanto, if you get it rolling effectively.
Yeah, well, I mean, then you have the trashing there too. You don't even need anything else.
Familiar is probably too slow. It's something you could pick up later that might be annoying. Because you could like ball for a potion and something else.
It is for sure too slow to open potion though.
Yeah. The trashing and the cycling is too good. You gonna open Shepherd here?
It's kind of sad. I kind of wish I was second player so that I knew what my opponent was doing. I think it's one of those boards. But yeah, sure. I'll take a Shepherd. We'll see what you think about that.
Yeah, so now I'm thinking about Ambassador and whether how good it is. I'm gonna try a Sauna Silver open and see how that matches up against the Shepherd thing too. I think it's nice if we don't do the exact same thing. Warehouse is obviously somewhat okay at matching up your stuff with Shepherd, though it's nothing compared to Dungeon. I mean, Warehouse is nothing compared to Dungeon in almost all settings. Dungeon is an absolute monster card, but so I get to do a trash here. But Warehouse and Dungeon are similar, and it just makes because Dungeon is a top tier enabler for Shepherd. I think you really want those starting hands to
I mean, Dungeon just enables everything. It's one of those.
So I can cards. Ball here to win the Sauna split 4-1, right? I think that's.
Yes, although because I really only wanted one Sauna anyways.
Sauna's the only village. Yeah, really, there's also really only one buy. There's ball, but there's no extra buy. Otherwise, because of otherwise with 4 saunas, I could really build huge with and still be able to draw it with Envoy.
Mm.
So now my ball, it's like I partied really hard last night, and now I'm feeling it. I think that's the way I think about the coin token, the -1 coin token. And
I think you're like an Avanto there.
Yeah, I would have liked to buy an Avanto there. So at this moment, I'm not really sure. I think maybe getting one more silver will help me hit Forge, because I mean the Sauna trashing will be cute and all, but I still want Forge. So just because I'm not playing with Shepherd right now doesn't mean that I don't see Shepherd fitting into my deck at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have once you start greening, at least.
It really is. All these $4 hands bring me down a little bit. I will take an Envoy. So I will definitely hit 5 this turn.
I also hit 5. Yay.
I think it's pretty interesting that we are both skipping all the junking right now. Maybe not that interesting.
Yeah. I feel
it's kind of unusual to skip.
If you had an ambassador, which you do not.
It's unusual to be able to skip ambassador, or to have a kingdom where ambassador gets skipped. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's refreshing, certainly.
So I'm about to buy an Avanto here, and I would really like to see that soon. So even though it doesn't affect what I'm able to do, well, yeah, I think it makes sense for me to, as I say this, yeah, I could actually buy a Forge, but if I have an Avanto in my deck, then I can draw up and buy the Forge again, get the chance again. So. I don't actually think I have to trash that much. I might play with Treasure Trove. I don't know. If there was plus buy, I definitely would.
There's not. So I'm not really convinced it's any good. I mean, you want a Relic, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I just want to trash this estate, I guess. I almost don't even want a Forge. And I just want to get that.
I don't think you need one.
Yeah, I don't think I
can't really imagine what you would use it for.
Yeah. Actually, what I just want are really nice shuffles. So that I can actually draw up all these coppers that I still have in my deck. Forge is good for you, though.
Forge is good for me.
Probably at some point.
My deck is busy doing the Shepherd thing of just not working at all.
It's something that happens.
But I do have a 10-point lead, which is often what the Shepherd thing comes down to, I think, is that you just keep scoring throughout the whole game. And at the end of the game, you have more points than your opponent. and then you win.
Yeah. So, how much money do I need, and what do I want that money to look like? I've got to have relic. So 1, 2, 3, 6. Sorry. Let's trash one more. Yeah, I think the relic attack. Well, Sana Vanto and Shepard are both engines that need the right cards to line up, and I think that the relic attack is pretty mean against both of them. Uh,
I mean, Relic is just a great attack in general.
Relic is probably more potent in your deck against what I'm doing than the other way around. Militia, on the other hand, would be stronger against Shepard. Militia is really bad against Shepard.
Yeah. My deck is doing absolutely nothing though, so I think we have a winner here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that was easy, because there's a lot of things to try to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Magic Lamp action.
I mean, I should point out that my draws were particularly terrible since I had all my estates in my turn 3 hand and
a common
my
complaint.
in my turn
A common
4.
complaint when you play with Shepard. No, okay.
So here I think the obvious thing to look at is that you want to activate your lamp as soon as you can.
You want to activate your lamp as soon as you can, and there's no extra points on the board, but you sure can build big and green in very few amount of turns. I mean, this properly played, this should be a pretty big engine mirror. I would say. The Merchant Guild payload is pretty sweet. You want to kill those Ironmongers in throne rooms. Yeah, 3 wishes sounds pretty good. I've got a 5/2 here, which I don't think is the best.
Yeah, no, that 5/2 is pretty bad.
Catacombs is okay. Cycling is good.
I would have taken the Merchant Guild there, I think, but I'm not positive.
I'm not sure. Lighthouse and Cellar are both like not that great for me to have at this moment, but they're both cards that could help me pop my lamp. Probably Cellar is better for that.
The Lighthouse is also nice because it stays out for 2 turns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be that hard to pop things here. Let's see. How many cards should be in my discard pile? Six. I have no chance of popping this turn, do I? No.
You do not have enough uniques in your deck. I'm fairly certain of
it. So what is the play here? Probably to maximum cycle right here, I think. Because well, now I only got 2, which is not what I was hoping for. I was hoping that I would still hit 3 and get a secret cave, but Lighthouse will have to do. Yeah, single-mindedly focused on the lamp activation. So I still don't have enough things that I could hope to pop at this turn. Throne room, I guess. You want a lot of throne rooms. The lack of trashing is a bit frustrating.
Yeah, I think this is the board where you definitely want to get your villages in before your terminal draw.
Well, I will just add another. I mean, so if I wasn't thinking about the lamps, I would add another ironmonger right now, probably.
I mean, I think that's still.
I'll just get a merchant guild.
Probably.
Still get the ironmonger.
I mean, that'd be my call. I think just because you can always hold back on.
Yeah.
So I get my activation here, nice and easy.
Yeah. So if I don't soon, you're gonna run away with this. It could snowball pretty badly.
I mean, that is often how these things go on lamp boards. Yeah.
Yeah. Hitting an estate is great. Three, 4, 5, 6. So, thank goodness. Now I can just get what's best for my deck, which is probably another ironmonger. Could be a throne room, but now my hand, I have a catacombs, a lighthouse, and a wish are my actions. I could wish for a throne room and be sure that I could play the catacombs safely, but throning the lighthouse would be kind of sad. So I'm probably going to wish for an ironmonger and just hope for the best. It's probably bad. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you got to do with those wishes. Wish for.
Yeah, you're gonna run away with this, I think. So you can get another catacombs probably, and an ironmonger or a throne room.
Yeah, I'll take another throne room. I mean, another ironmonger. It's a card that's difficult to have too many copies of.
Both of you want a ton of throne rooms and a ton of ironmonger. Come on, yes, okay, that's good. I really just want to be drawing more. Is it my last wish already? Yeah. Another merchant guild, maybe. Yeah, I'm still pretty behind. Sage can do some work here.
Yeah, for sure. I have a nice dud here.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
This happens a lot.
It's gonna happen on this board.
I mean, boards with no trashing. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Well, I guess I'm going to trigger this. Yeah, great. So this is okay. Maybe I'm caught up now, you think?
Yeah, I think we're about even
now. And yeah, you can see what this. So I think maybe this is a good point to stop. This is probably the way this should go. You hope that, in the spirit of competition, that one person doesn't activate the lamp way before the other one, and then Yeah, you want as many of those good action cards as you can. In Merchant Guild, you can play. I mean, you get to the point where you can play 3 or 4 Merchant Guilds every turn. That's the sweet spot. The game can't last that much longer after that point, but that's a pretty sweet payload.
Yeah, you for sure want a guide. There are a lot of guides.
Yeah, guides are going to be pretty important without the trash. Yeah.
It brings up an issue with guide, which is that guide is actually kind of bad for activating lamps, since in order to get it into play, you have to call it. So sometimes that can work out really nicely, and sometimes it just
yeah. This is a nice kingdom. If it's not going to have trashing, to have both guide and catacombs is a pretty good blessing and cellar, because you got some really mean cycling there to handle the fact that
I think once you have 3 guides or something, which is easy to do here, that you're just off to the races.
Yeah. All right, let's look at. Got time for one more?
No, I should probably call it a night. But, yeah.
All right, cool.
Good
well,
times.
Hope it was educational.
Good analysis.
To anyone watching. Thanks, xyrix, for joining.
All right. See you.
See ya.